Hey, you know, we're going to talk a little Padres and Dodgers, but I'll tell you what, we'll get to that tonight on the ASR. Right now, let's welcome a couple of familiar names if you've watched the PPR or NFL games. Please welcome former Vista Panther Pisa Tinoisamoa, who played for the Rams and Bears, and Brett Swain, who played for Carlsbad, the Aztecs, and of course has a Super Bowl ring with the Green Bay Packers. Between them, 11 years in the NFL. Gentlemen, before we get started on this very serious topic, I want to call your attention to the Brett Swain image. Do you remember these days?
Well,
you were a hippie.
I was I was kind of following the Clay Matthews. Yeah, you know, actually we were before Clay Matthews. You know,
yeah.
So Clay kind of came in secondary, but you know, now I'm sitting here with no hair. You know, a little shorter up top. You know.
Your passion for football remains the same. Yeah. Both of you retired, and both of you still actively involved in the game. Let's talk about. Let's get right to it. You two have a business venture going. Pisa, because you missed the Facebook Live interview, yes. you bat lead off. Tell us about what PAC 7 versus 7-on-7 is about.
Well, I don't know what people know about 7-on-7,
well,
but
tell them.
For us, Brett and I know in college it was a drill that we used to do. It was part of the practice where, you know, the DBs used to go against the receivers, the running backs used to go against the linebackers, and it was just an install of the plays. And so that's how we knew 7-on-7. The 7-on-7 now, these days in high school, has changed to competitive leagues and, you know, a full-on, like, tournament style, which, you know, is fun, but then it's, you know, a little tricky at the same point.
It's changed high school football.
Absolutely.
You have to play 7-on-7. You guys are now, rather than getting into very competitive waters, you're moving your 7-on-7 project in front of high school, correct?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So we kind of attacked the middle school age range kids. We started understanding that the kids that, you know, with the less numbers in tackle football and the more numbers in non-contact football, that how can we kind of bridge the gap and teach a more fundamental platform to the kids that are getting ready to transition into high school. So we saw 7-on-7 as a great platform for that. Within our program, we try to challenge the kids to play every position on the field to try to kind of increase their knowledge of the game. So we just had a camp this last week.
Big kids playing running back, the small kids line up in line.
Yeah, they get to play everything.
Gets a taste.
Everybody gets a taste, and we honestly think that helps the overall knowledge of the game, because if you're a quarterback and you have to go out there and run a route at receiver, now you know how hard it is for him to go run the route, and as a receiver throwing the ball, you know how hard it is that the quarterback has to do. So everybody's got a job on the field, and when you understand each other's jobs, you know the game.
All right, so let's get this business out of the way. People want to register. Tell us about how they can get involved. Do we have the board right there? This is free, right?
Yeah. So
we'll expand on that.
So
Pisa?
Go ahead, Pisa.
Free, yeah. I mean, so Brett's from Carlsbad. I'm from Vista, so he has a lot of people coming from Carlsbad, La Costa area. You know, they just have resources, more resources than, say, the kids in community in Vista. And so we figured, hey, let's try to take away anything holding kids back from coming. You know, so we decided we wanted to make it free to the community. We felt like we got the game for free. We went to a lot of free camps, Martin Bayless, Leroy Glover.
Back in the
I
day,
remember, going to those camps, and they were free. And so for us, this is kind of us carrying on the tradition of free camps and still trying to expand on the 7-on-7
You guys
style.
have your money behind this, but you also have NFL money behind you, do you not? How did they match your funds or your...
Yeah, so
your buy-in? Explain it.
Because we got the nonprofit status, the NFL kind of offers a program. Is it through USA Football? Is that through?
Actually, they have their own arm that helps out with it, the NFL donors. So
the NFL comes in and sees what we're doing in the community, and they allow us to kind of match what we're doing. So we kind of are able to provide a cool atmosphere for the kids and allow it to be free, so we can kind of have a bigger reach, and we can get these kids educated.
5th, 6th, 7th graders?
4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade.
And they, more than just being on the field with former NFL guys like yourself, they also do classroom work, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is more important? Is classroom study important to this project?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because they're student athletes first. They're students first. So we want to make sure too that they're excelling in the classroom, because we know the importance of that, especially going to college or trying to make yourself eligible for college. We want to make sure that, hey, this is just as important than the on the field stuff.
I'm sure you're both well aware California is one of the many states trying to put the kibosh on youth football, and I don't mean to badmouth politicians, because I think honestly behind it they're trying to make things safer for kids, as ill-intended as the method is. Your thoughts about, is youth football going to go the way of the dodo bird? Are we watching the sport disappear?
Good question. I think youth tackle football is changing dramatically. So for us, that's why we want to make sure with 7-on-7, we can teach things that they're going to use in tackle football when they get later on in the stage. But yeah, definitely we're concerned, and that's why we want to make sure that we have our hand and our say in how we develop the youth these days. So we can show, hey, you don't have to tackle, you don't have to be as physical, but you can still learn the game and some fundamentals that'll carry over in the physical side of it.
Pisa, I never thought I'd hear you say those words, because you were a pretty hard-nosed football player.
Absolutely.
But now you see that things have to change.
Yeah, and we learned a lot over the years. When I grew up, when we played the game back in the days, we learned how to go without water for a long period of time. We learned how not to complain and things like that. But we understand now that, hey, water will help you perform better and things like that. So, yeah.
Salt tablets won't.
Absolutely right.
We're seeing the changes in the sport that you guys made your living at. I mean, football, are they overreacting, or is this necessary to the game's survival?
I think it's a serious conversation that we need to have. I think that there's arguments on both sides that really have great points, but I think what we don't have is answers, and I think that what we're trying to provide is an answer to the problem, and what we kind of provide is it's a full program from beginning to end. So we get in the classroom first, we sit down and we teach these kids about how to be successful within this game and this platform that you have. And then you get to the football and you start playing the football and you start learning fundamental by fundamental. And then we grow them into the summer programs, which we're now going to do is what we call a tackling success program, which puts them in an atmosphere that teaches them how to have contact without pads on, without having to go in and just blow someone up to just learn. We're going to put them in a controlled environment and then educate the kids.
All right, you guys had endured the traffic coming down here. We're going to put all this conversation. Can we throw up really quickly the graphic where they can register? That is how you get involved. It's starting Sunday. I assume you're both going to be there, right?
Correct.
A KOSI camera will of course be there as we hope to grow your venture right alongside you. So, gentlemen, congratulations on what you're doing, giving back to your community. It is greatly appreciated, and we wish you all the success in the world. This conversation and we'll replay it in our ASR and on all our social media platforms, so you can see the where, whys, and how to get there. I'm done for now. I'll see you guys again on 10:45 on the All Sports Report. Now back to the news desk.